Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and welcome to the class of business ethics. Today we are going to start the 13th lecture of business ethics, and again same, the corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility da چې کوم چپټر دی دا ډیر زیات لږ اوږد دی، نو ځکه دا زموږ دریم لیکچر دی regarding to corporate social responsibility. Ab last time came, first we started the corporate social responsibility, then we discussed the two models, socio-economic model and economic model, a broader view and narrow view. Then we discussed the pyramid of the corporate social responsibility. Simply stated, CSR, that is clear, the function of legal responsibility, economical responsibility, ethical responsibility and philanthropic responsibility of an organization. Now today we are going to discuss clear a next discussion, that should corporate responsibility be broadened or not. In this regard we have two types of arguments. One is known as the invisible hand arguments and another is known as the hand of government argument. Now let me explain these arguments discussion in detail, that what it says. Number first, the invisible hand argument. Adam Smith claimed that when each of us act to promote our own economic interest, we are led by an invisible hand to promote the general good. Simply stated, if businesses are permitted to seek self-interest, matlab profit, they will satisfy our material needs to great extent. Gora invisible hand argument simply da way چې organization ته موږ مکمله ازادي ورکو، چې organization څه وکړي، organization ځان د لپاره self interest چې دی هغه پروموټ کړي. نو کله به چې organization خپل self interest، خپل profit په ځان د لپاره خپل جوړوي from the society، نو organization به څه کوي، organization به definitely د خلکو need and society چې کوم needs دي، community چې کوم needs دي fulfill. In other words, ګوره the invisible hand argument دا وایي چې organization له مکمله ازادي ورکوي. Organizations چې کوم دی they are صرف responsible that they should provide or they should fulfill the need of the society. هغه به ځان د پر خپل profit جوړوي چې څه رقم profit هم جوړوي، لیکن organization به صرف اور صرف جوابدهي څه لپاره چې they will fulfill the needs of the customer, they will fulfill the need of the market. مطلب څنګه چې ما تاسو narrow view یا economic model explain کړو چې organization چې دی صحیح ولا هغه به ځان لا profit جوړوي لیکن without deception. صحیح باقي به مونږ organization چې دی ابو نه چیرو. نو organization صرف اور صرف چې کوم دی هغه اولنې responsibility دا ده چې country یا state یا customer چې کوم need دی به دی به fulfill کوي. They are responsible for such thing. صحیح there will be no hand صحیح controlling body over the organization. Organizations are free. See, according to this argument, corporations should be held morally responsible for their economic role. Like material needs چې څنګه ما تاسو وې، نو که material need خلکو need نه پوره کوي، نو بیا موږ organization باندې blame لګولای شو چې موږ organization بالکل free پریښیو. صحیح شو، نو تاسو ولې د country need د customer need اوسه پورې نه ده fulfill کړی. نو دې کې مسله دا رااله چې corporation should not be held responsible for non-economic role. A non-economic, for example, need. نو non-economic role کې صحیح شو injustice راشو، pollution راشو، مطلب organization مکمل ازادي ورکړي چې organization څه کول غواړي do it او دې کی doesn't matter. صحیح شو، مطلب چې سوره pollution کوي او دې کی، صحیح شو، سوره injustice کوي او دې کی، سوره price ټاکی او دې کی، لیکن څه دا چې موږ ته د customer need چې کوم دی، market need چې کوم دی پوره کی. صحیح شو، نو دا وایي چې د organization باندې simply stated Adam Smith دا وایي narrow view کې چې ګوره customers باندې organization باندې check and rule نشته، controlling body نشته. organization څه کوي دی بس موږ ته market need پوره کی. لیکن د دې برعکس یو بل ډله وه او هغې وایي چې ګوره موږ organization هسې نشو پرېښودی. There must be a controlling hand over the organization or businesses that will check clear or that will make rules and laws. مطلب simply stated دې ډلې دا وایي چې ګوره organization free نشو پرېښودی، باید چې دې باندې یو لاس وي چې هغه به دې باندې controlling کوي. صحیح شو، so that theory was simply known as the hand of government argument. ځکه دې ته وایي the hand of government, the government laws. مطلب there must be a check and balance from the government side upon the businesses or organization. چې organization به څه کوي، صحیح شو، government چې کوم دی هغه دې باندې check and balance ساتي. So supporter of this argument simply says that if we leave the corporations to their own self-interest profit, so definitely organization به څه کوي، organization will pollute the environment, they will allow the racial inequalities and they also will do the sexual inequalities. So So now question دلته دا رالو چې how can we broaden the corporate moral responsibility through the strong hand of government by statement of laws and regulation. نو اوس کوېسچن دلته دا دی چې موږ څنګه دغه کارپوریټ سوشل ریسپانسیبিলিټي راوستې شو. نو ول دا چې کارپوریټ سوشل ریسپانسیبিলিټي راوستو لپاره باید چې ګورنمنت چې کوم دی اپ اورګنایزیشن باندې کنټرول واخلي. نو هر یو اورګنایزیشن چې دی صحیح ولا it must be operate within a state according to the laws of that state. نو ځکه دا وایي چې هر یو صحیح ولا هند اف ګورنمنت صحیح ولا یو سیستم ډیولپ کی د لاز اینڈ ریګولیشن او ګورنمنت چې کوم دی اب ډایرکشن ورکوي کمپنو لا صحیح ولا بزنس لا چې تاسو به څنګه اپریټ کوي. سمپلی سټیټډ اورګنایزیشن باندې یو چیک اینڈ بیلنس باډي پکاره ده and that body is simply known as your government. The government will provide moral direction to the corporations. Now اوس موږ سره چې کوم کانسپټ دی that is the argument for increased social responsibility. یو ډلې دا وې چې social responsibility چې کوم دی هغه باید چې کوم دی هغه سیوا شي. One of the group that was in the favor clear of the social responsibility, that organization must clear do the social responsibility. هغه څه وې چې business is a part of society and cannot ignore social issues. مطلب business corporations these are linked connected part with the organization that are not separate part from the organization. They must solve the social issues. Second هغه وې چې by helping resolving social issues business can create more stable environment for long term profitability. مطلب چې هر یو بزنس چې څوره به کنټریبیوشن کوي سوسایټي کې او هغه کمیونټي چې کومه ده سوسایټي کې کومه ده صحیح ولا اب لانګ ټرم لپاره مور پروفیټیبل مور سترونګ وي سسټینیبل انوایرنمنت به کریټ شي. تھرد دا وایي چې socially responsible decision making by firms can prevent increased government intervention which could force business to do what they fail to do voluntarily. It means simply دا وایي چې ګوره هر یو organization چې څوره socially responsible وي هغه decision چې کوم دی اب داسې decision اخلي چې they will have a positive impact on the society. نو government intervention به ډیر زیات کم شي. ګوره دا خو کومن غونې خبره ده چې کم یو کس چې د سوسایټي کې هغه ډیر په قانون او قواعد باندې چلیږي مطلب هغه ډیر پاک صاف یا خسړی نو ګوره پولیس هغه باندې لاس نه اچي ولې هغه ته پته چې فور ایگزامپل دا کس خو دا کو ډیر نایس کس دی. نو سیم از د کیس چې کم یو اورګنایزیشن رولز لاز او به کوي او داسې ډیسیژنز اخلي صحیح ور چې هغه پوزټیولی امپیکټ کوي په سوسایټي باندې نو ګورنمنت چې د الټا انټرونشن چې کوم دی مداخلت چې کوم دی هغه نه کوي. نو ځکه یو ډلې دا وایي چې اورګنایزیشن ته باید چې کارپوریټ سوشل ریسپانسیبিলিټي سیوا کوي. They should increase the corporate social responsibility. Your baladalawa that was against clear of the corporate social responsibility. The economic chikam modelo ya economist chikamu aguwe chinna social responsibility chikam de da uneshi organization agu de favor kinu چې organization چې for example هغه د دې لپاره نه دی جوړ چې هغه social responsibility follow کړي. نو هغه په کوم اساس باندې وي هغه چې managers are responsible to stockholders so want return to honors investment. وای چې organizations چې سره چې پکې investment کړي دي څوک چې stock holders دي باید چې organization صرف او صرف هغه له توجه ورکړي because صحیح هغه investment کړي دي organization کې so they are the real interest holder inside the organization. نو ځکه وای چې organization هغه social responsibility صرف او صرف دا ده چې corporate businesses manager they should give more focus on the stockholders because they are the investors. مطلب هغه سره 2 نمبري ونه کی سټاک هولډر سره هغه چې څوره انویسټمنټ کړی دی باید چې هغه لا پراپرلی هلڅ ملاوي شي. سیکنډ هغه دا وي چې کارپوریټ ټایم منی اینڈ ټیلنٹ یوز ټو میکسیمایز پروفټس ناٹ سولو سوسایټیز پرابلم. سیکنډ دې ډلې دا وي چې ګوره سوسایټیز پرابلم حل کولو نه بهتره دا ده چې اورګنایزیشن فوکس وکړي په خپل ټایم په خپل منی او په خپل ټیلنٹ باندې چې څنګه د خلک نورم ټرین کی چې اورګنایزیشن نورم افیکټیو شي چې اورګنایزیشن به افیکټ کیږي نو افیکټیو شي نو اورګنایزیشن ډیفینیټلی پروډوس د افیشنسي پروډکټس افیشنسي سرویسز چې څوره افیشنسي به سیوا کیږي نو اور اورګنایزیشن چې کوم دی چې اب نورم گروث کوي. نو وای اورګنایزیشن صحیح شولا وای یو بزنس چې کوم دی اپ سوسایټي پرابلمز کې ځان اخته کوي بهتره دا ده چې اورګنایزیشن کې څوک اندغه ټایم چې کوم دی اپ خپل ټیلنٹ ریسورسز باندې ورکی هغه میکسیمایز کی صحیح شو په دې باندې مصرف وکړي. Third هغه وی چې social problem affects society so business should not be expect to solve these problems. وای چې ګور سوسایټي کې خو آی دین پرابلمز رسی نو آی دین صحیح ولا هغه پرابلمز چې کوم دی اب اورګنایزیشن سولو کوي نو اف کا اورګنایزیشن هغه مسلې سولو کوي نو اورګنایزیشن مسلې به څوک سولو کوي صحیح شو. نو ځکه دې ډلې وی چې ګور social responsibility is not the real responsibility of the organization. اورګنایزیشن چې خپل کومه responsibility ده صحیح شو باید چې هغه باندې فوکس وکړي. نو ځکه دا وایي چې society is every time affected by different problems. So this is not concerned with the business. The business oriented problem must be focused by the organization, not the social problem. اور last دوی وایي چې social issues are responsible to elected officials who are accountable to voters. صحیح شو نو simply stated د دې لپاره یو voting system جوړ کی چې آیا صحیح شو social issues صحیح شو they are responsibility of elected officials. مطلب social یا society د لپاره چې کوم for example let's suppose یو مسله رااله نو د دې لپاره یو officials دي یو voters دي یو group جوړي یو team جوړي هغه د مسلې حل کی نه کې organization سره همیشه چې کوم دی for example for the continuous time کې organization society د لپاره سوچو کی نو یو ډله هغه وایي چې social responsibility چې کوم دی that is good. It must be the responsibility of the organization. Bala dala the against ke chikama da they were no social responsibility is not the real responsibility of the organization. Say sure no agi we social responsibility that is the cost of the organization. No that cost chikam da again da bo security da bo again the cost chikam da bo community pay kai. No zaka no organization wali social responsibility kai. No that was clear some arguments clear that was in the favor of social responsibility and was against of the social responsibility. Now we want to compare both the models. Economic model हम compare कवल वाड़ू सही शो और socio economic model हम compare कवल वाड़ू गोरा अलरी माता स्तु वे चे economic model simply वे चे organization main social responsibility to earn the profit without any fraud. While socio economic way चे organizations clear there are some more responsibilities of the organization. Like for example to take care of the society, to take care of the customer, and to take care of the for example employees as well. Now us coming for example for different parameters money we would like to compare both the models. Look at economic model way that was production oriented, profit oriented, and socio economic model that was quality of the life oriented. Second parameter that was exploitation of the natural resources. They were to deplete the resources. So sexual profit unku of society needs pura ku. Halanki socio economic way no conservation of natural resources. Restore the resources zaya kawai ma sexual future long oriented. Third they way internal market based decisions sexual balki they way market based decisions which some community controls. Then they way economic return matlab sanga masa so profit they way no balance of economic return and social return. They simply way go earn the money sexual matlab gata ukai baghair the doke or da tola gata che kam de zan sara save kai. Economic model دا وي چې دا ګوره هر یو organization چې دی هغه مطلب جایز چې کوم legitimate earnings دي legitimate profit دی دو نمبر نه صحیح شو هغه earn کی او صحیح دي ځان سره کی دی لیکن socio economic way چې no socio economic way چې organization that is a integral part of the society they are earning from the society so they must clear have to spend a bit percentage clear upon the society as well for the betterment of the society. نو ځکه دا وای چې ګوره economic model way چې economic return profit چې دی organization ځان سره وساتي جبکې socio economic way چې no there must be a balance and there must be a return on the society betterment as well. بیا وای چې firms or managers interest and here firms and community interest. Economic model ke community interest nashte hai not for the social responsibility they are not in the favor of spending money on the society welfare lekin economic socio economic model che kam de da way che firms and community interest pake lazmi de da way minor role for government. Economic model ke government intervention der kam de che sanga mas asta uwe Adam Smith da khabara kadi wa organization must be held free او بیا دلته وای چې نو active role of government پکار دی چې organization څه هم کوي سچولا باقاعده there should be a proper guideline from the government side. مطلب simply stated economic model دا وای چې government سچولا intervention نه دی پکار organization بخپل decide کی direction لیکن socio economic وای چې no there must be a controlling body that should be government and government will give direction to the organization. So that was a comparison clear between the economic model and the socio economic model on the different parameters. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now we are going to discuss the next concern that is encouraging ethical behaviors. As simply stated institutionalizing ethics within the corporation. The slide simply that way چې آیا ethics مون organization کې څنګه implement کولای شو how we can implement the ethics within the organization. نو ځکه دې ته مونږ وایو institutionalizing. Institutionalization simply means that enforcing ethics implement something practically do something. नो ګوره اوس externally مونږ څنګه کولی شو with the proper government legislation and rules چې څنګه ما تاسو وې like economic for example legislation یا دینه علاوه چې کوم laws دی government هغه فالو کی and within the organization څنګه کولی شي code of ethics په طریقې سره management direction سره and ethical officers سره for example consent سره. Now let's start from the first corporate moral code. now number 1 corporate moral code یا code of ethics. ګوره یو خو دا ده چې organization rules laws جوړ کی بل دا ده چې organization code of ethics جوړ کی. What is code of ethics? Code of ethics simply څه دی؟ Code of ethics simply دا یو guidelines دي. These are simply the guidelines for the employee that how to do a job. These are simply the social norms, the social standards which are beyond the law. So that is known as code of ethics. And then employee must be trained according to these code of ethics. Now, اول به تاسو ته code of ethics تشریح کوم چې first code of ethics دی څه. Here that is the code of ethics. As I told you, that code of ethics, that code is a statement. And what is statement? Statement means simply a description that where each and everything is explained. That is codified. A code is a statement of policies or rules that guidelines behaviors of an employee that have to carry a job. Code of ethics your example में तब explain करा है कि put loyalty to the highest moral principle, uphold the constitution, laws and regulations, give a full day's labor a full day's pay, seek to find economical ways of getting tasks and accomplished, never discriminate unfairly by giving privileges or favors to anyone, make no private promises of any kind binding upon the duties of officer, expose the corruption whenever discovered. All these are what? All these are simply the guidelines, and these are providing a direction to an employee that how an individual will perform clear his or her job within a setup. So all these guidelines are simply known as your code of ethics. So first of all, if the managers or we want to apply ethics, institutionalize ethics in the organization, we must have to first develop a code of ethics for the employees, where this code of ethics will give a direction to the employees that how ethically sound inside the organization. Under code of ethics, sometime to institutionalize ethics in the organization, organizations also carry a whistleblowing concept. What is whistleblowing? Whistleblowing simply means that informing the press or government officials about the unethical practices within one's organization. What is whistle? Whistle. Whistle way spilakla. Blowing mean sexual chalawal. मतलब यो दलता आगा मतलब न दे such as that somebody is doing for example whistles or let's suppose beeping. It doesn't mean like this. दलता मतलब दा दे कि कल हम organizations यो unethical practices के involve भी. Now we have an individual. It can be a group that will inform to the top level or that will inform the higher levels about those clear unethical actions clear of the organization. मतलब कि कल हम यो organization unethical activities के involved है. Like for example रिश्वत आखली या हायरिंग प्रोसेस सही न दे लेट्स सपोज या इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स चे कम दे प्रोडक्शन आगा लगे न फॉलो कई या सेफ्टी प्रोसीजर लगे न फॉलो कई सही हुआ या करप्शन के इन्वॉल्व दे नो दा सीधी दादा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अनएथिकल एक्टिविटीज ही उस अनएथिकल एक्टिविटीज ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल अनएथिकल एक्टिविटीज पर बारे चिकला यो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हायर अथॉरिटीज ल खबर वर कई सही हुआ सो दैट इज सिंपली नोन एज विसल ब्लोइंग. No whistleblowing concept हम अमदा वही च organization च कला for example ethics carry कवल वाड़ी सही वाला practically implement कवल वाड़ी. No next step whistleblowing हम यो activity शतरा यो concept शतरे च organization दे सरा implementation कवल है शी. और whistleblowing के बारा च कम act mentioned है that is Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002. Provides sweeping new legal protection for employees who report corporate misconduct. The come to whistleblower, for example, act च कम दे सही वाला अदा पर basically organization दे act सर follow कीगी. देखिए mostly से discussion कीगी corporate responsibility च आया organization लगे corporate responsibility follow कई के ना follow कई. Conflict of interest पर बारे के दहा कीगी information leak कीगी and the corporate accountability पर बारे के discussion कीगी. दा हम यो concept है. Second, institutionalizing ethics के the management role या the managerial role उस managerial संग direction work कवले शी. Number 1, corporation or managers or management should acknowledge the importance even necessity of conducting business morally. they must be committed to ethical behaviors. First khabara. Second, corporations should make a real effort to encourage their members to take moral responsibility seriously. Third, corporations should invite outside opinions and conduct ethical audit of their organization. Ab ethical audit must be about the policies of the organization, about the priorities of the organization, about the practices of the organization. Ab suppose organization se policies jod kari di, sahi shwa. No awal uguri che aya the policies che kam di, these are in the favor of the society, these are in the favor of the organization, these are in the favor of the, for example, employees or not. Like I would like to give an example. Suppose organization your policy joda kari da che we will promote the individual on the seniority base. अब चाचे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ढेर ज़्यादा वक्त तेर करे दे, सही हुआ मुंगो सिर्फ आगा प्रमोट करो. आया दिस पॉलिसी ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज लेजिटिमेट टू ऑल द एम्प्लॉइज कि देशी दासी एम्प्लॉइज ही चाहे कोई पक्के सिर्फ दो काला या द्री काला तेर करी, बट दे आर वेरी मच टैलेंटेड. गोरा उस अगोला प्रमोशन न मिलावेगी चाहे पूरे अगोई हायर लेवल दखा नहीं करी, मतलब वक्त पक्के स्पेन पक्के नहीं तेर करे टाइम स्पेन, सही हुआ. नो ओया now this policy is feasible to all the employees or not. अब this policy must be study out, सही हुआ. नो उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दह कतल गोड़ी कि आया ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पॉलिसीज, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्रायोरिटीज, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्रैक्टिसेस, सही हुआ, मिशन एंड विजन आया दा फॉर एग्जांपल दह दे एथिकल दे के एथिकल न दे दे बबारा के ऑडिट कीगी. सेकंड देना अलावा फोस्टरिंग कम्युनिकेशन चे आया कम्युनिकेशन पैटर्न चे कम दे के खुद डिले नशते दे. एक्टिवली मॉडलिंग एथिक्स. Actively modeling ethics simply means that model ethics. Like I'm going to your model mauka to model and the date that inspire show me, and now I am acting according to that model. I am adopting clear each and every fashion of that model. Same is the case of actively modeling ethics. It means your organization, your department chekam de seshwa alta ethics apply ki taki age dekha dekhi tool departments aga uguri seshwa aga ote ethics follow ki. Like for example, ab your department chale alta sitting arrangement da se shave de che there is a difference clear in the seating arrangement of male and female. No che us your department da arrangement kai no ba che bal department hum da uguri cha hui lage dora female ethical standards khayal saati no ba che har your department chale aga da se arrangement no ki. Ab it means that is modeling ethics. To for example matlab qatl usara che de norum uguri or hum be apply ki. Dit am go simply act of modeling ethics. Encouraging ethical decision making and training employees to make ethical decision. Employees are training work की सही हुआ चाहे ethical decision संगा आखली. If ethical decisions मदलता दोबारा detail किन्ना दखा करे include करे बोले चे already ethical decision making मने माता सोला direction दर करे रे कि organizations के कल हम manageran when they are taking the decision they must be rational in approach. और rational माता सोला already concept हम clear करे हो चे rational simply means thoughtful process. And the last third we have ethics officer. It simply means that coordinates ethical conduct and give employees someone to consult if they are not sure of the right things to do. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now guidelines for making ethical decisions. Sangaba khasteshi, listen and learn, identify the ethical issues, create and analyze options, identify the best option from your point of view, and then explain your decision and resolve any differences that arise. It simply means that there must be a rational process, decision making process. Where the rational decision making process to come there, Saishwa, that's also previous lecture, okay, Kataleshi, it will make your idea inshallah fully clear. Now, already a bit we have discussed about the corporate social responsibility from the economic responsibility, from the economical point of view, from the legal point of view, from the social point of view, and from the philanthropic point of view. Already I explained that what is CSR. Now I would like to mention some example relevant to corporate social responsibilities. That would be don't pollute, don't mispresent the product, don't bribe, improve skills of your employees, seek to hire the disabled, contribute to the education, locate plants in economically depressed areas where there is a need of plantation, abolish slavery, forced and child labor, provide equal opportunities and vocational training guidelines to male and female, freedom of expression within the organization, thought and religion point of view, right to privacy and family life, and right to take part in political life. All these are the different example of your corporate social responsibility. Simple sizunadi tashwa zakama dura explain unakrala. Up we have some more environmental responsibilities of corporation as well. باید چې کارپوریشن ته پکار دی چې هغه د خپل انوایرمنٹ چې کوم دی هغه هم پروټیکټ وساتي. اب انوایرمنٹ کې څنګه پروټیکټ ساتلی شي ګوره use and handling of genetically modified organisms, simply minimizing the greenhouse gas emissions and global warming, treatment and reduction of wastewater, soil and water contamination, recycling and reuse of materials. لکه څنګه چې تاسو ګورئ یک بار مصرف چې کوم دی صحیح شوه دا ټول څه دي دا ټول موږ سره ریسایکلیبل صحیح شوه مټیریل دی یا ډسپوزیبل سمپلی مټیریل دی چې ختم شي. protection of forest resources, جنگلات وغیرہ چې کوم دی صحیح شوه بونی وغیرہ چې کوم دی صحیح شوه دا پروټیکټ وساتي. لکه I would like to give you an example. ګوره چاینا کې دا رول دی ګورنمنٹ ته طرفه نه چې څومره هم هغه کمپنۍ چې کوم دا فورسټ مطلب دا ونو سره یا لرګي کار کوي هغه چې یو ونې روباسي نو یو ونې په ځای باندې 3 to 5 ونې لګوي صحیح شوه چې تر څو پورې هغوی لګولي نه وي نو ارګنایزیشن صحیح شوه هغې له اجازه نه ورکوي چاینا کې. اب دیٹ از د پروټیکشن آف فارسټ ریسورسز. فارسټ ریسورسز خو همدغه کیدای شي نیچرل ریسورسز ټریز ایټسیکټرا. نو داسې ارګنایزیشن چې کوم دی دے کین پروټیکټ دیئر انوایرمنٹ صحیح شوه. ناو سم مور ایگزامپلز آف CSR دا وګورئ a shoe for me is a shoe for you. Tom's shoes. دا یو بیسیکلی کی سټډي ده الته نه مې راخستې ده just to make your idea clear چې Black Mycoskie started Tom's shoes clear on the premises that for every pair of shoes sold, one pair would be donated to a child in need. This innovative idea resulted from a trip to Argentina where Mycoskie saw an overwhelming number of children without shoes. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear to you. چې ګوره دا بیسیکلی یو کمپنی وه هغې کمپنی دا کانسیپټ شروع کړی و چې هغې بیسیکلی ایرلی چې کم مطلب شوز جوړولې صحیح شوه جوتې چې کومې جوړولې هغه جوتې چې کومې دی صحیح شوه هغه به ایرلی ډونیټ کولې هغه خلکو ته هغه چیلډرن ته هغه بچو ته چې چا سره به فار ایگزامپل دغه نه وي چا سره به دوره مطلب اکانومیک پاور نه یا بایینګ پاور به نه و صحیح شوه. سو دیٹ از اگین a concept, a study of your a case of your corporate social responsibility. Some of the most common ways in which CSR is demonstrated, some more example دا کیدای شي چې specialist adopted project, corporate charitable donation چې څنګه ما تاسو ته وویل, voluntary schemes for staff fundraising activities and changes to organizational operations. کله کله organizational operations مکملې چینج شي صحیح شو. دا ټول تاسو کنسپټ دی about the corporate social responsibility. دې کې دوره explanation ضرورت نه و صحیح شو. نو لکه ما یو ګرو تھرو تاسو له درکړو. hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Thank you so much.